Record. Okay. Hi, everybody. If you can see us, which I hope you can, either way, I'm recording, so we'll be fine. There is a YouTube live stream activated. I can see it working, but I cannot see Rumen. So there's a few more that have jumped on now. Guys, if you can see myself and Rumen, can you please put it in the chat? I'd really love to know that you have full view of both of us because I'm hosting Rumen Kolev tonight. So hi, Rumen. How are you? And thank you so much once again for, giving us your time. Uh, we are, very, very, very gracious and grateful for your presence and energy and mind and wisdom every time you join us. So thank you for being here.
Hello, hello.
So we talked a little bit about before we came on that we might talk a little bit about some of the Babylonian sky, the Babylonian astrology. What's happening with, oh, there's Rumen. There you go. Okay, so it is working. They can, I just saw you on the screen, on the other screen. Okay, good. All right,
Uh,
it's happening.
so now it's okay.
Yeah, it's in. I just saw you on the screen. So I think what happens is maybe when you talk, then it shows you. When I talk, it shows me. I think that's what's happening. So it's a bit delayed. It's a bit delayed. Okay, we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, they see us both. Perfect. All right, they see us both, Roman. It's all good. All right, guys. So thank you for that, for letting us know. I will be looking at the chat every now and then. So if you have questions for Rumen, the wise master mystery man Rumen, he's here live with me right now. So feel free to ask any questions as we go through. I'll do my best to look at them and try to, select several questions and I'll put them to Rumen and we'll just take it one step at a time. But what we're planning to do is to talk about probably Saturn and Venus. At the moment in the sky are both morning stars, so they're rising on the eastern horizon every morning before the sun, which is a sight to see. I have been out several mornings and watched them myself. There's a lot of different things that we could say about that. Obviously, there's the astronomical phenomena, just the beautiful vision that you can go out and see, which is a spiritual practice within itself, just to embody and feel that. I've done it for many years now with Venus particularly. So we have that component of it. And then we have, because we are going to be looking at the Babylonian fixed zodiac, and Saturn and Venus are at 6 and 7 degrees of Babylonian fixed Pisces in the real sky. So I'm going to ask Roman to share with us perhaps, some of his thoughts and ideas around this particular omen, if you like, that's happening at the moment with Venus and Saturn rising on the eastern horizon. It's pretty important, I think, especially, Saturn and Venus is the morning star, Pallas Athena, almighty Pallas Athena, shining bright like a diamond, extremely powerful. As we know, because we talked about last time, Venus did not disappear out of the sky in her transition. She was visible both as a morning and an evening star for a certain amount of time, and she just made that switch like that in certain northern latitudes, which we spoke about, I think, a couple of videos ago. So, in other words, when Venus does not disappear out of the sky, from what Rumen has taught me, which happens once every 8 years, that's a very powerful omen for Venus, a very powerful omen for the goddess Pallas Athena, and what that means with matters happening on the earth. And then, of course, in our own personal life, with the whole Venus cycle as well, because her appearance appeared somewhere in your birth chart. It's probably more ideal to look at your Babylonian chart and see where she appeared there. It was in the early degrees of Pisces from memory. So, Rumen, I will before I hand it over to Rumen, for those of you that do not know Rumen Kolev is a mastermind, magician, wisdom teacher. I don't even know what else I could say. There's so many things I could say about you. He's an incredible, incredible, incredible soul mind man. Incredible. I'm always very, very happy when I sit with you. Rumen has many, many courses, many, many programs, computer software programs, you name it. Once again, I don't know how you found the time in one life to do all these things. I say it all the time because it's true. I have so much respect, so much respect. We're going to actually look at Rumen's program today as well, which is called Placidus 7. And I highly recommend it, especially if you want to work with the absolute true sky and the deep wisdom and richness in Babylonian astrology. It's very, very different. It's a very different chart. It's a very different way of understanding, receiving the information, and a very different perspective as well, right? It does take a long time to learn it, but if it's in your heart and you are passionate, you will do it. Just like I made that decision, particularly since I got your program and met you, it just changed everything for me. So we'll be using your program as an example today to show the demonstration of what a Babylonian chart looks like. And you will see the constellations in the background, you will see the planets, you will see the ecliptic, you will see the meridian, you will see everything. It's a totally different chart. So before we even look at any of that, Roman, actually, you have a program coming up, I think in July in Varna, Bulgaria. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, can you just share a little bit about what that is for people that might be interested who live in Europe or who are planning to visit Europe during that time?
Yeah. The seminar will be in-person seminar in English. It will start on the 4th of July and it will be 9 days. Like the first 3 days, 4th, 5th, and 6th of July, we will talk about ancient astrology. Like the first day will be dedicated to Sumerian, Babylonian astrology. The second day to Hellenistic, and the third day to Arab, medieval, Renaissance.
Beautiful.
So the next 3 days will be dedicated to particular uh, topics like how to interpret a chart in the ancient way,
Mhm.
how uh, we'll talk about how to determine um, the source of life, who is the Heliac,
The-
then the Alcocoden, who
Ah,
is the guardian angel, then the king or the queen of the chart, who is the Kyrios or the Almuten, the most powerful planet. So in the second part, which will be like 7, 8, and the 9th of July, it will be more practical stuff, but we will also look at some Babylonian charts from the time of Babylon.
mhm.
We'll look at some charts from Hellenistic times, some very very amazing, interesting stories connected with astrologers in this time, with magic, with war,
Mm,
uh, some details. Also, we'll talk about prediction, about different predictions, how famous astrologers made their predictions.
mhm.
And we'll talk also about predictive methods,
Predictive
uh, methods,
methods,
like
methods.
primary directions, progressions, transits, heliac, heliacal appearances.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I'll present the most recent research,
Hmm.
the results of the most recent research. Also, I'll present, I hope, the new version of Placidus.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm currently working on this new version,
Okay.
and there is some progress. There is still work to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll present the full features in the second part of the seminar.
Okay.
And, and then the last 3 days
Mm-hmm.
will be dedicated to uh, practical observation of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 3 days will be 10th, 11th, and 12th of July 2025 in Varna, Bulgaria. And we plan to go to some places around Varna, close by, like 1 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
But where there are ancient observatories, ancient stone observatories from 2000, 3000 years
Uh,
ago. And there is very nice conditions for observation too,
mm,
like 360 degrees horizon and very, very dark. And it is absolutely amazing place there to be.
mm-hmm.
It has very, very strong energy also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there are several such places very close to Varna. We'll go there, observe during the nighttime, practical observation, how to observe, how to measure distances,
Mm-hmm.
um, look at the stars, the planets, everything. And then these last 3 days will be also days of free discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like we will go to cafeterias, to restaurant, just sit around, talk, party time also in my place here. you
Oh.
know.
I-
Yeah, it will be free program then the last 3 days. And actually, the last 3 days are free of tuition. Like anyone can join, and it is free.
Mm. Oh, wow. I am so
Yeah.
far away in Australia. That makes me very, very upset that I can't be there for that. But for you guys who live in Europe, this is a really golden opportunity. The amount of things that he just gave us some headings of topics, right? That will be covered, over a space of a few days. It will be quite intense, I suspect. You'll have to have a really, focused mind. But this is a golden opportunity because this material that Rumen will be sharing with you, you cannot find in one book. You cannot find the answer on Google. Okay. So this is very, very sacred knowledge and wisdom that Rumen has been basically cultivating over years and years and years and years with writing, practicing, teaching, observing the sky, numerous things. There's so much within this. My words could not possibly describe the value of what you could actually experience if you decide to do this with Rumen. If you can, I encourage you to do so. If you can't, think about approaching Rumen for the programs that he's got, as in seminars he's already done, workshops he's already done, classes, readings. It's pretty much limitless, right? There's everything is there. All right, Roman. So it's going to be awesome, I'm sure. And I'm sure that one summer I will make it. I don't know which one, but one summer I will make it. Yes. All right. So I'll hand it back to you again. And do you want to? I'll give you the sharing screen thingos. Right. So I think now you should be able to share your screen. So shall we? where would you like to start? Should we bring up a Babylonian chart and just locate Saturn and Venus at the moment and kind of start from there?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I also want to add something to the description of the seminar.
Sure.
On the 9th of July, there will be a 2 hour lecture of friends of mine who are professors in Assyriology
Right.
from Germany.
Wow.
And the topic will be the astrologer in Assyria as advisor to the king.
Ah, wow.
And also, I expect a lot of quality people to come exactly to this seminar in 2025 from the United States and from Europe. So I
Yeah,
hope there will be very strong atmosphere.
I believe it will be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just actually, before we go on, just to clarify, how many days is it? So when does it start and when does it finish?
It it starts on the 4th of July,
Mhm,
2025,
mhm.
and it finishes on the 9th of July, finishes the in-room classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th of July, this will be observation of the sky and party time.
Right. Party time. That's so good that you're closing it like that. That's wonderful. So, guys, if any of you are interested in this, in what Roman has briefly just touched on relative to the content over those days, from the 4th right through to the 11th or 12th, I think you said. So it's quite a few days. Just email Roman directly if you have any questions, if you want to know more about it, if you want the information, emailed to you very specifically. All those details you can get from Rumen. So don't email me for those. Go straight to Rumen. I'll have all his details underneath this video, all his email, website, etc., etc. Okay. If you do come to me, I'll just pass you on to Rumen. It's all good, no problem. All right, Rumen. Let's have a look at a chart. Let's have a look at Venus and Saturn and see what they're up to right now in the sky.
Okay, I'll share my screen here. Can you see
Yes.
the screen? Okay. Now let's go to the program, which is this one here. Now we can see the current positions of the planets. It is for today,
Hmm.
for the 2nd of May, Friday, 2025.
Hmm.
And the location is where I am at the moment in Varna.
Hmm.
We can, because I am on dynamic here, and we can change the location, of course. For example, with this one here, we can change the location. We can change the time. We can do anything actually.
Hmm.
And here is the current position
Hmm.
of Venus and Saturn. They are in conjunction also with Neptune here.
Hmm.
Um, as you can see, if I can zoom
Hmm.
here, this is actually the working variant of the new version here that you see.
I
The
like it
version,
already.
yeah.
I like it already because that's
Uh,
such an important thing what you've added there. Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, here you can zoom. In the old version you could not.
Yeah.
Um, so here is what we're looking at. Um,
Can you zoom
This,
back in again? Because it looks great. You can see it so closely.
yeah.
Perfect. That's so good. That is so, so good.
So here it it says here morning first -7,
Mhm.
which means that Saturn has heliacally appeared 7 days before the current day, which is the 2nd of May.
Right,
Like if I go back with a week, okay, I go back with a week, and you see now here MF0,
right.
which means that this day,
Hmm.
which is April 25,
Hmm.
Saturn has appeared heliacally, visible for the naked eye, for this latitude here,
Right.
43, 43 north.
For the first,
Uh,
for the
yeah,
first this cycle, right? That's its first appearance, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Uh, if I change this, I can change the latitude, let's say for 53, um, 53 north, and we can see how this will change. You see, Saturn is still invisible in 53.
Is that
Uh,
USA, New York, somewhere around there?
53. I think 53 is, let's let's try to see, for example, Moscow coordinates
Ah,
55.7. It is even further. Yeah, Moscow is even further north. Uh, so 53, I think it will be less somewhere for the northern parts of uh, Canada.
right.
Let's see where Montreal. Well, it's Montreal is like 45.5. Huh. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so 53. Okay, let's put 55. And now we must see when Saturn will appear there, which will be a long time, maybe. Yeah, it will be probably months away.
Really? That can make that much of a difference.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I got it. Here, MF1 means that the next day he will appear. He will appear for latitude 55 north, which is very close to Moscow.
Moscow. Yeah.
And this will be June the 2nd.
Wow, that's such a difference. So basically, for those of you that are watching live at the moment or listen to the replay later, what Roman was just demonstrating to us here was that through his program, you can obviously you can what's it called? Hit dynamic, which moves the chart in whichever direction you want to go. If you want to go back or if you want to go forward, right? As in, if you want to go into last week or you want to go into next week or next year or whatever the case. So we're just demonstrating the importance of the planets disappearing and reappearing, and the fact that their appearance varies based on latitude. So Saturn appearing in Melbourne, Australia, when it did, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the same day that it appears for you, unless you're in Melbourne, Australia. So the your location, your geographical location reflects all of this, where, the exact position of the planets, their exact timing of appearance, and so forth. And you might be thinking, well, who cares? Why does it matter? Why is it a big deal? Well, it's a very big deal, very big deal, because when a planet is invisible, which all the planets can go invisible and do go invisible when they get close enough to the sun, they go through a transitional process, a spiritual process, a death process. We often talk about Venus in this context a lot. I've done that for many years now, talking about Venus. When she goes invisible, she dies, she goes into the underworld. Well, that same principle, that same theory applies to any of these planets. So if Saturn has been invisible, he's been in the underworld, working on things in our life with our karma, with all sorts of things on a level that we're not even conscious of. And then when Saturn reappears in the sky at some point after being invisible, maybe for several months or whatever it's been, then that's the appearance, that's the rebirth of Saturn. Again, at this point, new cycle beginning. And this is what has happened with Venus and Saturn together. They've both been reborn as morning stars. And Saturn and Venus, I think, and I want to ask you, Rumen, actually, particularly from a Babylonian perspective, a Saturn Venus conjunction as morning stars, I think that's probably quite an important omen, isn't it? You know, relative to the meaning of
Yes.
both of them being morning stars and conjunct and, you know, visible in the sky. So that's what Rumen was just showing us with the program. He was showing us in a different latitude. It hasn't appeared yet. In another latitude over here, it actually has appeared. So it is important to keep in mind that your geographical location is what's going to determine when these planets disappear and then reappear again. It's just a very, very important thing to remember and understand. So, Rumen, there's Saturn, there's Venus, and Neptune as well. So I find that incredibly fascinating.
Yeah. Now I have changed the latitude for Washington, D.C.,
Okay,
which
so
is here,
47.
like 47 degrees,
Yeah.
and this will be like 42 minutes north.
Uh,
And Saturn will appear there on the 4th of May.
oh, okay. Right. There you go.
Because you see, if I move one day before, it's not visible.
Mm,
So also we must keep in mind that there is this period of plus minus 7 days
right.
around the heliacal phase of a planet, which is very strong period and very important. Like,
Right.
for example, Saturn here appears in Washington, D.C. on the 4th of May.
Right.
And if we count 7 days before that, then it will be like starting from the 27th of April.
Right.
So from the 27th of April to the appearance, which is the 4th of May, this is very important period. And then 7 more days after that to the 11th of May.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the time when the appearance of Saturn will bring the energy very, very strongly.
Mm. So that 14 days is the strongest zone in this case for Saturn, right? So the seven
Yes,
days before and the 7 days after. So 14 days, that
yes,
14-day period is very, very strong energy with any planet that's in that position. But now we are talking about Saturn specifically.
yeah. So we talked last time about Venus appearing very close to the equinox, which is this orange point here,
Hmm.
equinox. You see, I can go to the tropical ecliptic, and this is the tropical ecliptic, and from the equinox starts the tropical areas here.
Hmm.
So we talked about this, and this is quite important event when Venus appears as a morning star like all very, very close to the equinox, because this is the beginning of the new cycle. This is the beginning of the new year,
Mm-hmm.
and the beginning of anything is the most important,
Yeah.
because the beginning actually is the quintessence of the whole cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in psychology, they talk about the first impression when you meet someone new.
Yeah.
That usually like the first parts of the seconds.
Yeah.
Like you get the most true insight
Yeah.
into this person. So this is true in any area,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of the principles of astrology too. The beginning
Mm-hmm.
is the quintessence of the whole,
Yeah.
and also actually on this basis is the radical chart, because the radical chart is the beginning of the
Mm.
life,
Yeah.
of the independent life of the person.
Right.
Um, Also, talking about the heliacal phases, this means appearing, disappearing of the planets, of the fixed stars. There are also other kind of heliacal phases, which are stationary points, um, and some other not so known heliacal phases. But here, the important thing is that the appearance and disappearance of the planets and the stars on the sky, these are the signs on the sky. And astrology is the art, the science of reading the signs on the sky. So this is important to consider, that observation of the sky and looking for signs on the sky is actually the basis of astrology.
Yeah.
We can of course help ourselves with computer programs, with ephemeris, with all these things,
Mm.
but observing personally the sky is the most important, because that's what astrology is. Um, so here we talked about this appearance of Venus,
Mm-hmm.
and I can show you something here. Like, okay, we can keep this for Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
but now I can show you the heliacal path of Venus.
Okay. Have you put,
This is,
sorry, have you put more stars in there now?
yeah, several
Ah,
more stars.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is the new version
Uh,
8, which is in development now.
okay.
So we can go here. Okay, we can go here. Let's see where we can go. Okay, morning star.
Right.
Morning star, dynamic time.
Right.
Good. And if we click to Venus,
Oh, there's Pallas Athena.
uh,
That's so cool. She just appeared in the center.
yeah, this is actually the
Oh,
like Venus appeared here
okay.
at this place. This here is MF,
Morning.
which is morning first,
Right.
and we can see exactly the data here on the 17th of March 2025,
Right.
and the longitude is the 11th degree of Babylonian Pisces. I can change here, of course, to tropical too, and it will change accordingly, So
Wait,
I
how did you
go
change it? From where?
here, here, you see the
Oh, right.
first row
First, yeah,
on the
got it. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
left, you see,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it.
and
Okay.
then I can go back to Babylonian.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So
yeah,
what's happening? What's this blue line? This is Venus, right? This is her.
this is the path of Venus. So she appeared for Washington D.C. on the 17th of March. Okay, I can put here the 17th of March. Okay, let's put here the 17th of March. Well, I must go probably one day next because it's going to the previous cycle. Yeah. So here the arrow shows where is Venus for this day here. On the 19th of March, 2025, Venus is here.
Right.
And then if I move with a day, like a step, you'll see what is going on.
That is brilliant. So this is the movement of Venus, right? That arrow shows
Yes.
how she's moving.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you see here for the 12th of April,
Yeah.
she she's at her point of morning station when she freezes on the sky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 12th of April, 11th. Exact day is 11th of April.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can
Wow.
you can play with this.
This is just pure magic. You've just added more magic into my life, Roman.
Yeah. Uh,
This is, guys, this is phenomenal. Like, I don't know how many of you are aware of it. This is a new version, a new program, or the newest version that Roman is currently working on of his Placidus 7. So what he's demonstrating to us right here, I've never seen before. It's the first time I'm seeing it. He's showing us that he's managed to create in his program the actual movement of where Venus is in every little step she's making in the sky, every little step. Isn't that right, Roman? That's every little step she's making. That blue line
yes.
that we're looking at, this is Venus's path. And I love the way you put these little stars here as well. The detail in this is fantastic, Roman. Pallas Athena pops up in the middle once you turn it on, telling us that this is Venus morning star because Pallas
Yes.
Athena is Venus morning star. If it was the
Yes.
evening star we were looking at, you would see Aphrodite pop up there in the middle. This detail is exquisite, Roman. It's really beautiful what you've done. There, there. That is so good. That is so good. Oh, wow. You're a genius, sir. You really are. Wow.
And here, uh, the background chart,
Mm-hmm.
you can put any chart that you want. You can put on the background chart, you can put your own radical chart. For example, I can go here to birth,
Right.
uh, and let's see. This is my chart.
Right.
This is my birth chart. However, I can superimpose on my chart, I can superimpose the heliacal path of Venus for any time.
Wow.
So, for example, okay, it's okay right now for Venus, as you can see here, Venus right now is here, superimposed on my chart.
So, so, so let me just clarify. So this chart that we see on the screen right now is your birth chart, correct? Yes?
Yes, yes,
Okay. And what you've done is you've superimposed the path of Venus with this new version that you're creating. This is the path of Venus on your birth chart. We're seeing that now, right?
yes.
Wow. I'm the
And
first
for
one
example,
getting this
yeah,
program, woman. I'm the first
pardon?
I'm the first one that's getting this program when you finished it.
Yes, sure, sure.
Okay.
And now if I want to see when Venus will be transiting on my moon, I
Oh,
can see it in several different ways. I can just here play with this here.
okay.
So it will be on the 25th of May.
Okay. So is that just like a dynamic feature basically there, right? As well. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah, progress. Right.
I can go back to now. There is another way that I can see this. If I click here to pointer and
Right.
let's see, and I point somewhere here,
Hmm.
you see,
Yeah.
here, here you can see in this screen down here, you
Right.
can see actually when Venus will be there, where I'm pointing.
Right. 25th of May, 2025. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you can move here and see,
Okay. So
you
you
know.
you can just use the pointer tab to take you wherever you want in your chart, and it just shows you the date on the bottom of that little tab there. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I can point to Mars and see that she will be there conjunction with my Mars on the 16th of August.
All right. Oh, that is so cool, Rumen. Yeah.
Mm. Also, also I can put here also evening star, Venus as an evening star, and I can actually put both of them.
Both. Right. So the evening star is the yellow line, right?
Yes,
And this cycle is it, which cycle is it showing though? Um because at the moment Venus is a morning star. So what evening star is it showing us from which date? From when?
the evening star is before the morning one.
Right. So it's showing us her previous cycle. Is that right? Mine's
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
For example, I can go to, let's see where I go, March, and here is here is Venus. She is in evening station.
Right. Wow.
But
Okay.
then if I start moving,
Yeah. Okay.
evening, you see, like evening last
Right. Yes.
is on the 20th of March.
Right. Right. Wow.
But before evening March, we have morning first,
Yeah.
which is on.
Oh my God, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Uh, when you guys
So
watch
you,
this, like, you better, I hope you appreciate this. This is freaking mind blowing. Oh my God.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, Roman. We were talking earlier as we started. I was just simply giving an example of how Venus, in her appearance relative to a lot of northern latitudes, when she became the morning star around the equinox, right?
yeah,
Around the 21st of March or whatever it was, around there, Venus, she was an evening star, right? For the last 9 months, we've had Venus in the western setting in the western sky, seeing her, as a western setting evening star, right? For the last 9 months. So this cycle, which is it never changes. It's morning star, evening star, morning star, evening star. That it's for infinity. It just never changes. So we're talking about how in northern latitudes, certain northern latitudes, Venus did not disappear. Okay, and we're talking about that is so crucial, so important. It only happens once every 8 years, not everywhere on the planet either. Okay, now the other thing we talked about was how important this is relative to it being so close to the equinox, the spring equinox, which is representative of new birth, new beginnings. Not long after that, there was the Babylonian New Year, the first of Nisan, I think it's called. So that represents a new beginning. So, and Rumen was summarizing by saying that um, the essence, of the sky, of the stars, of astrology, right? The language, this sacred language, the essence is always in the beginning. The beginning has everything. And you think about that because if you think about a 360-degree circle, right? Like Aries Pisces, right? Zero Aries, okay? And then 360 degrees. Where are they? They're right next to each other, right? They contain the whole circle, right? The beginning and the end. So anyway, that's going slightly off topic, but it's important relative to the value of understanding this particular cycle of Venus. And Rumen has just shown us with his new program, which I've never seen this before, that he's created, showing us visually exactly what happened in the sky, how Venus was both a morning and an evening star at the same time. Like,
Yes.
if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
I really don't know. This is phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
you can, and here you can see this loop because from evening station to morning station, as you can see here, she's retrograde.
yeah. Okay. Mm.
So she's moving opposite of the order of the science
Right. Yes.
from
Yes.
evening station to morning station.
Yes.
So she makes this loop here,
Right. Yeah.
and it is important to see exactly where she makes this loop in your own chart,
Uh-huh.
in which house and what kind of planets and points are there.
Right. Right. So,
Because this is the time when the energy of Venus changes
uh-huh.
and when there is a restructuring of her energy.
Yes.
And this loop shows actually uh, what area of your life this restructuring will affect.
Uh-huh.
Like in my case, this is happening in the seventh house, so it is partnerships.
Mm.
So yeah, until she's going from evening station to morning station,
Yeah.
going retrograde, this will show a period of reconsideration,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and and then when she starts again to move direct, then we'll start the new active cycle.
Okay. So let me see if I've got this right. So this loop here that we are looking at and talking about, this
Yeah.
is Venus is retrograde at this point, right?
At this point, yes, yes.
Where you're pointing your arrow over here, is it?
Yes.
Okay, okay, got it. All right. So here she's coming along the yellow line. This is Venus as an evening star, which what we had just before March, right? Just before the 21st of March, she was still an evening star. And that's her coming around this line here. That's her E. So tell us, she gets to this point here, ES. That's what her first station is it?
Yeah, this is evening station.
Evening station. Okay. So then she continues down the yellow line and she becomes morning first, MF, right? So she becomes the morning
Yes.
star here. Of course, she's retrograde. Okay. So as she continues, not very far along, you can see right next to it, it says evening last. It's the program is showing us Venus has just been reborn as a morning star, and virtually simultaneously, we're seeing her evening last finish, that part of the cycle finish. And so she's doing this loop here. And then as she continues, the blue line starts because now she's a morning star. She's actually finished her evening star. That's why it says EL, evening last. It's finished. That cycle's complete. But she's still in this loop, which is what's important here. That's what Rumen was explaining. She's still in this loop period. Okay, so there's all these very significant details and changes of things all happening in this loop. And then we get to this point here, which is what's that? MS. So
Morning station.
morning station. Okay. And so after this point here, this is where she comes out of the loop, is it? And then just starts her path. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this loop has so many things going on inside it. It has a morning first, an evening last, uh, an evening station, a morning station. And you were saying, Roman, that's, you need to know where that's happening in your birth chart, what zone it's happening in, obviously. That's going
Yes.
to describe the area of life that it's playing out in, that it's influencing, where the energy is alive. And it's also a reflective kind of period. There's some things that you might change your mind, I think, with certain things there as well. There'll be some significant changes that can occur. Because think about the goddess Venus, right? Her cycle is so magnificent. It's so magical. There's so many layers you can go into. But just very, very simply, if you're a goddess and you're zooming through the sky as a warrior goddess, and you know that you've got a certain cycle of things to complete, and then you know you're going to come to the end of that cycle, and then you're going to put on a new outfit, and you're going to become the Aphrodite, love Venus goddess, and you've got to prepare yourself. There's things going on in that zone, in that change, right? In this case, Venus is retrograde, so that's another layer. But what we're seeing here is I'm so excited that I'm boiling. I'm getting hot because I'm just so excited what I'm speaking about. Um, yeah, what all this, right, which can be described in so much more detail relative to your birth chart, of course, is seen through this extraordinary thing that you've created, Rumen. We can see visually what's going on in the sky with this program on the screen. You are a effing genius.
Yeah. Well,
Oh
so
man. Okay.
also, Anastasia, you can put, as I said, as a basic chart,
Yeah,
as a background chart, anything. Like I can put also as a background chart my progress chart,
right. Okay.
or my primary progress chart, or anything.
Right.
Uh, so yeah,
So
uh,
any chart you can put
any chart.
on
Yeah.
the screen and superimpose this well, what are we calling this? What's it called? Because I can see that you can choose not only Venus, you can choose the moon, Mercury, Saturn, all the planets, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
So,
called the heliacal path of the planets.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love this. You can see both goddesses in the center now because we've highlighted both evening and morning. That's such incredible detail, Rumen. Uh,
Yeah.
so this is the visual heliacal path of the planets, and we just used Venus as a demonstration to show an aspect of this particular part of this new development in your program. Wow, I am so honored that you've shared this with us today. Um, have you shared this with anybody else, like publicly?
No.
Oh, I am so grateful. I am so great. You told me you had a surprise, but I didn't know it was going to be this. I'm so honored. I'm so honored. Thank you. Wow. That's
So
amazing.
now we can actually look at some other cycle, let's say like several years ago, and let's see what is happening here. Okay. Uh, I'm I can also look at the invisible at the total path. Okay, let's go like one if I want to. Yeah.
Astrofly, you have a question there, or the more someone has a question, I'm not 100% sure. Uh, the more concentrated the color, the slower the speed.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right. So the color of what? The path?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So here, for example, you can look. This is for 2021 somewhere, and you see like between evening last and morning first there is a little bit black line.
Right. Yes.
So this shows the time when Venus was invisible.
Uh-huh.
And here you have this evening last on the 6th of January and
Right.
morning first on the 10th of January. So there is 4 days of invisibility.
Right. Yes. Okay. Hmm.
And you can also, yeah, you can also uh, look only at the invisible in front of the sun, and that's it here. From evening last until morning first,
From
this
evening.
is the path of
Okay.
invisibility in
Okay.
front of the sun.
Okay. Okay.
And like sometimes, well, in this example, this is
Ah.
4 days, but it can be much longer. It can be a whole week. I'm just
And
looking.
those divinities that are appearing in the center, they are corresponding to these periods of Venus's position relative to in front or behind the sun and invisibility and so forth. Is that right?
Yes,
Right.
yes. For example, now at this present cycle, there is no invisibility
Right.
in front of the sun. That's why the divinity connected with this is Nike.
Ah, Nike. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I go to, let's say,
So that's just to
oh,
let people know that that was the goddess Nike or Nikki, whichever way you want to pronounce it, which means like victory, right?
yes,
Yeah.
or I can see only the invisible behind the sun,
Ah, the Gorgon Medusa.
the Gorgon Medusa. Yeah.
Oh, this is so amazing.
So in this period, it will be from the 29th of March, 2024, until she appears as an evening star on the 5th of July.
Right. So now we're talking about last year when she was invisible, right?
Yes.
Right.
So
And that
yeah, morning last.
warning lasts
It's
her,
the 29th of March.
yeah, okay. Because that's
And then,
that's her longer period of invisibility from in that part of the cycle, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's because she has
And
two cycles of invisibility. One's much longer, one much shorter. And the Gorgon Medusa connects to the longer period, which, yeah, is more difficult, I think. Yes.
yeah, behind the sun. And here is the movement of Venus as an evening, as invisible. Yeah, from this point, morning last, she moves, and to this point when she appears as an evening star.
Right, right. Okay. So the more concentrated color, the slower the speed. Okay, yeah. So the black line is her invisible path, right? Always it's going to be black like this, just so we know to distinguish, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Wow. Hmm.
Yeah, I'll click only the visible path again.
Okay.
So this is yeah, this is it. Also, you can put here something else. You can put also, well, let me see, Venus. I need Venus. So you can put the pentagram.
Ah.
So this is the pentagram of the morning first.
Can you move that screen so we can see the whole chart again with the pentagram? Can you move that screen in front over? That's it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, guys, some of you might not be aware, but this pentagram is not the pentagram as in the Sun-Venus conjunction that happens in the sky when it does. This pentagram corresponds to Venus's heliacal cycle, which is where did she appear in 5 places, right? She always appears in 5 different places over an 8-year period. So
Yeah.
that's what this pentagram is. It's not the Sun Venus conjunction, it's when did she appear and where. When, as in the date, where, as in the constellations, the zodiac.
But
Yowza.
you see, Anastasia, you can also make the pentagram with inferior conjunction, with superior conjunction, with morning first, evening first. All these points here you can make the
So,
pentagram.
so, okay, so hang on. So now the pentagram, we can also see the Sun Venus conjunctions.
Yeah, yeah. This is the pentagram with the inferior
Ah,
conjunctions,
okay.
and this is and you can see down here exactly when they happen. You see, the first one is on the 23rd of March, 2025.
Right. Yeah.
The second, 24th of October, 2026, and so on. And you can make also the superior conjunction pentagram here.
Right.
So basically, yeah, you can do many things here.
Many, many. So if you choose superior conjunction or inferior conjunction with that pentagram, that's showing you the superior conjunction, which is, for example, well, one's morning star, one's evening star. Again, it's that principle, right? And then if you go below where it says morning first, evening first, is that the same as that other tab that we used to click up there to get the, you know, the Um,
in the old version.
yeah, is that the same thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. But
So, for example, now I made the pentagram for the current time with morning first, and look, if I look where is the number one, it's right where morning first is.
oh wow, okay. Yeah. So we're
And
just so much more detail now. So much more
and if
detail.
I make the pentagram with the morning station,
Ah.
you
Oh.
see.
Oh, so you can do it with the morning station and evening station. Wow.
Yeah, evening station will be this one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So for people who are watching, this is just extra work that Rumen has done. Once again, these little panels that he's bringing up and he's showing us, it does, if it's new to you, I can understand why it would be difficult to follow. You know, it's not easy. You have to have the program and you have to have worked with it for a little while. But basically, what we've just explored or looked at is that with this new version that's coming out, we can look at and trace every single detail of the evening star and the morning star, the inferior conjunction, the superior conjunction, her stationary periods, her her retrograde periods, when she stops, when she starts, when she does the whole cycle. So this is like a much vaster, more expansive, so Sagittarius view, of this phenomenal cycle of Venus. Wow, Roman, you freaking blow my mind. I'm just going to see if there's people saying this is amazing, Roman. Amazing visualizations. You'll see all this later in the recording anyway. When will it be available for purchase by Christina?
Well, I hope after several months.
Okay, so after several months, Christina, hopefully. Um,
Yeah.
so mostly there's just a lot of thank you and amazing. Can one upgrade to the new features? That's a good question. If
Oh, yes, yes,
so if you have
yes,
Placidus 7, you can just buy the necessary component to upgrade, right?
yes.
Yes, to Gilly, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name not correctly. Sometimes my pronunciation can be a bit funny. Gil, I'm not sure. Anyway, yes, you can upgrade to new features. Um, Christina, yes, we will keep everyone posted. I'll be checking in on Rumen because I want this before any of you, trust me. This is amazing. This is because I just had my birthday about 2 weeks ago, and this is probably the best birthday present I got actually. Yeah, yeah, it is.
You can also see here Mercury.
Yes, I noticed that. Said correctly. Okay, good. Yes, I noticed that you can do this with the moon as well. Is that right?
The moon, yes, yes, the moon also. Mercury, for example, here we see for the current time we see the Mercury as a morning star.
Right.
Maybe if I put only the visible path,
Okay.
this is because in one tropical year Mercury makes 3 cycles,
Right.
but he is not visible in all of these 3 cycles. Sometimes this depends on the latitude. This depends on the cycle of Mercury, on many factors. Sometimes he can be visible in all these three cycles. Sometimes he is visible in only one or two, and sometimes in none.
He's very
Very, very,
Mercury, very tricky. You cannot
very, very
pin him
tricky.
down.
Yes.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's great. So we'll be able to see that path as well. That tricky little Mercury Hermes flying around. That's so, oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
And
that's
now you can see the when Mercury is invisible in front of the Sun in these three cycles. So here are the cycles. Like right now Mercury is here, only invisible in front of the Sun, all invisible arcs. He is invisible and conjunction with my moon.
uh,
I can, yeah,
uh, so you're pointing here to your moon. And
yeah,
okay. So we've got your chart on the screen, and we're looking at the cycle of Mercury in the sky at the moment relative to your chart, and it's very close to your moon. Is that what you were just saying, Roman? Just so that I'm clear.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
This this red arrow shows where is Mercury for the 2nd of May 2025.
Okay.
And I can of course move. Let me see. So yeah, I can also put. Let's see if I put the total path. Mercury will become visible somewhere here.
Hmm.
And it will be when it will be in July and yeah, July.
And that's you for people who are interested in this program, because you just said that it would become visible somewhere here. How would they identify that by the visuals? You've just changed something now.
Yeah, right now I change to evening star
Okay.
total total path. If I want to only the visible path, this will be the visible path. So the next time Mercury will be visible will be here, which is evening first one.
Evening first.
And this will be, let's see, this will be somewhere in June 2025, evening first, the 6th of June 2025.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So we can see how tricky Mercury is, but we know that planet, that archetypally, astrologically, symbolically, he's a trickster. And I find it fascinating seeing it visually, in the chart like this. It's quite incredible. It's not as it's different to Venus. It's just, yeah, totally different to Venus. Yeah.
very, very different and very varied.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, for example, he makes the loop here, and if I put both here, as you can see here, let's, yeah, here, when he becomes evening last one in the first cycle, evening last, let's see, will be on the 6th of July 2005.
Mhm.
So we can move there. Yeah. Oh, I so it will be like, okay, 6th of July, Mercury becomes invisible, yeah, invisible, he becomes invisible as an evening star, and then he goes on this loop of invisibility,
Right. So he does the
which
loop.
will be
Okay.
the same interpretation as with Venus. When Mercury goes on this loop of invisibility, then there will be reconstruction in the plans of the person, in his projects,
Uh-huh.
in in his contacts. Everything that Mercury is about. There will be a reconsideration and a reconstruction, and then
That's going to be
after.
that's going to be when you're doing your course in Vadna, the workshop, isn't it?
Yes,
You,
yes.
you might get some surprises, Rumen.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the seminar starts when Mercury is still visible
Okay.
on the 4th of July.
Yes, yes. So 2 days in, Mercury goes invisible. That'll be an interesting energy to observe as well.
Yeah. Right now he's at evening station, which is the 16th of July.
Mhm.
And then he makes the retrograde movement going back. And he is appearing now morning station. And he's appearing, oh, yeah, he's appearing as a morning star in August, the 13th of August.
It's a really wonderful way to track these the heliacal paths of the planets, right? To track them in such precision, right? And detail.
Yeah,
Someone said in the comments here, they said this is great for planning when you want to plan things, And we're all planning things in our lives at different times. Sometimes it's bigger things, sometimes smaller things. So absolutely. I'm just going to see if there's any other questions here, Rumen. Um, Gil, just email Rumen about Babylonian interpretation stuff. Because Rumen actually has some books that he has written himself, which you can purchase from him. So definitely email him and ask him about those. I don't know of any other books myself. I'm learning from Rumen, so I'm always going to refer people to Rumen. And I've got some of his books anyway, and I've got the program, and here I am constantly, encouraging people to learn about this level of astrology. Why? Because it's in my heart and soul. I know it. I know it. I feel it. I know it works. So yeah. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, it does, Christina. It does bring a very different light. Someone is saying in the comments that looking at things like this brings a very different light. Of course, because no other program does this. I mean, this is freaking phenomenal. This is really, really phenomenal. Yeah, it is. It's just yeah, I don't. I'll just be thinking about this, and I'll be pushing you, Rumen, to get ready.
yeah.
Oh my God. Greetings,
Anna,
Germany. Rumen is an incredible teacher. He absolutely is. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys, for all your beautiful comments and your questions. Crooked Tail, Eleanor Rigby. I'm not sure what you are saying there, so I can't really respond to that. Um, Okay, so Gil is going to email you directly, Rumen, for Babylonian material and so forth. Were you going to say something, Rumen? We can start closing shortly if you like. I've actually got a sinus infection and I'm feeling a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there is something else,
Okay,
Anastasia.
okay.
Very, 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 very interesting is that actually you can uh, you can build um, a figure just like the pentagram for Venus for the other planets. And now I will show you
Okay,
what what kind of celestial figure is making Mercury.
okay, okay. All right. So as
Are
Mercury,
you
okay,
are you ready?
go on, and then we'll unpack. Go on.
Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Here you go.
Okay, so just if you can just move that screen, that's it. Oh, okay. So walk us through this, Rumen. Tell us what's going on here because yes, it looks different.
Well, yeah, this is the Star of David.
The Star of David. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head, and the words weren't coming out. Yes, the Star of David.
Yeah, this is
So,
the Star of David. This
right,
these two triangles,
yeah,
because Mercury makes three cycles
right.
in one tropical year. And if you connect, for example, here, I connect the inferior conjunctions and the superior conjunctions.
Mhm.
Like one triangle, the blue triangle connects the superior conjunctions,
Okay.
and the yellow connects the inferior.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
For example, if you here you see
Hmm.
IC, one means inferior conjunction cycle first,
Right. Okay.
and then here is IC2. Yeah, here IC2.
So in the second inferior conjunction in this cycle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the third one is this one.
Yeah. Got it.
So you can connect also the morning, evening elongations, which will be a little bit different kind of shape. Again, two triangles, but
Which
not
one is
so.
which is this now? Because I was just
This is yeah,
comments.
this is with the morning and the evening elongations.
Oh.
Now this is with the morning stations, and now if I connect the morning first and the evening first, this will not be triangles because uh, there is more in the first cycle for year 2025 that there is no visible Mercury in the first cycle.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
That's why you see only these two lines. But as I told you, it is different for different latitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go now, let's see, if I go now to another latitude, much more southern. Let's say I go to latitude 32 latitude. We may
Close.
see, yeah, 32. Yes. Now for latitude 32, which is like 32 is Babylon, is I think close to Jerusalem. So now we can see this Star of David connecting the morning first and the evening first of Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this in your own chart. Okay, I go to my own chart now. Uh, yeah, I go to my own chart. Let's see. I must change also the latitude. 43. Okay. So when you go to your own chart, it is let's see. I go to only visible path. Yeah. What is important is to look exactly where the visible path of Mercury goes, in which houses and over which planets.
Right.
Like it was here. If I point here, this happened in December 2025. You can you can see in this space here.
Yeah.
This happened. You see here, 17 December
Yeah.
2025
Yeah.
morning, and this happened on my sun.
Right.
And morning visible, like look here, morning first happened. Let's see. I will, if I point here, this morning first happened. Yeah, this was, when was that? Okay, morning first. Well, this will be still in front of us, but I must go back in time to get this. Ah, yeah, here. Morning first one. You see,
Okay.
like morning first one happened on the 13th of December 2024, and it happened in the 12th degree of Babylonian Scorpio. And my sun is in the 13th degree. So this is very, very important. If Mercury appears on your ascendant, on your MC, on your sun, on your radical moon, then this is tremendous.
Okay. So
And
so it's going to appear in October this year for you. Is that right? 11th of October,
uh,
this date here? Or
let's see
I'm looking at the other window.
where.
Just
Uh,
just here.
oh, this is where I point.
Oh, okay. So has it appeared on your sun already, is my question.
Yes, yes, December 2024, and I give
Ah, okay.
yeah, I
Um,
give this as an example because this was a very important period for me.
right. Are you
Uh,
able to share anything about that, just as an example, or is it if it's too private and personal, that's okay? Don't.
oh, it's okay. I just made some very important contacts. Um, some very important people. I made contacts with in connected with my products. With my products, not only astrology but also magical jewelry too.
Ah,
So
okay.
this was very important period for contacts, for networking,
Mm,
for orders,
mm.
and very, very profitable period.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Merchandise, Mercury. I've just forgotten the other word. What if you're born with Mercury invisible, right? Um, and you're looking at this cycle. I know it's probably a long sort of answer to the question, but I guess what I'm really wanting to understand is if Mercury was invisible when you were born, are the invisible periods more significant for you or less significant, or does that change because you were born with Mercury invisible, the meaning of it, just
Yeah, it's if you are born, for example, like let's say, 3 days after evening class of Mercury, after Mercury disappears in the evening sky, and you're born 3 days after that,
Mm.
you must watch in the current Mercury period exactly the same day, like 3 days after the current evening class of Mercury, because then will materialize what he means in your radical chart.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But when Mercury is visible, when he makes this visible arc, this will be also very important, even if you are born with invisible Mercury, because if this visible path, if he appears, as I said, on your Sun, on your Moon, Ascendant, MC, then this will be extremely important period um, for the current time for the mercurial stuff
Mercurial.
and what Mercury means in your chart.
Yeah. Yeah. So with this new version, Rumen, basically we can look at the heliacal path of all these planets and track, it with precision where they're going to be invisible in just like we looked at Venus a little bit longer, obviously in more detail. What we're saying is now we're touching on Mercury, but this is the case with all the planets. And so when a planet where a planet appears and again where it disappears and where it's tracking in your chart, it's not only Venus, it's all the planets. So this program shows us, it pins down the precise time, day, Babylonian fixed zodiac, or you can switch to tropical if you wish, because Rumen has a function in his program where all you have to do is click a button and you can make that chart your tropical chart. You can go back to Babylonian tropical just like that. The point being, with this new version, we can track the heliacal path of the personal inner planets, I like to call them, or actually, well, Saturn and Jupiter are not personal inner planets. But anyway, the seven traditional planets, let's say, or excluding the sun. You can track their paths and, like Rumen was just saying, when Mercury appeared on his sun, he made very, very important contacts and connections with people that have been very it's been an important period in his life with his work, with the connections that he's made. So it's a timing tool, isn't it? Really, it's just like a timing
Yeah.
tool, being able to visually see precisely the timing of the steps of all the planets, and when they stop and when they hide and disappear and reappear. And this is an area of astrology that is so non-mainstream, that is so unknown for the most part. And it does take a while to really get your head around it. So for some people that are watching or tuning in, this might be going over your head, and it's completely understandable. And then there are other people, they're connecting to it, they understand, and it doesn't matter where you are. But what does matter is that you are watching and listening, because once you start getting into this, you're you will open up layers and new worlds of your life and your birth chart, details of things that you never ever can get when you're just looking at the solar fire birth chart and you're just looking at the planets in the houses and the aspects. It's not to say that looking at the tropical chart and everything that holds isn't valuable. It is very valuable for sure, especially from a psychological level, mythological and archetypal, you could say. But this area of astrology and this particular program, it blows all that out and takes you into deeper dimensions with much more detail of ancient, you could say, predictive work or practices that the Babylonian priests did without computers. They just did it with their eyes. Rumens put it all into this program for us to see the actual sky, what's actually happening. And if you do his seminar, the one that he's got coming up in July of this year, 2025, you'll learn astronomy as well. You'll learn how to read the sky because 3 days, I think you said, in that seminar, you spend observing the sky. Yes, Rumen, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's, a lot of people um are really lacking the understanding of the sky and astronomy. And I was one of those people for sure for a long time. I didn't have a particularly good understanding of the astronomy. And I'm not saying I'm a specialist, but I'm saying I'm starting to learn, and it's fantastic. This part because this is how can you put it? If you have no connection to the real sky, either by understanding it slowly, slowly, or by going out and watching, the stars rising, the planets rising, setting, appearing, disappearing, all of that, and you're just relying on a computer and your books, you're not having a lived embodied experience with it. And I think it's really important. Something changes when you go and watch the sky in that way with some understanding of what you're looking at as well. So Rumen's seminars will be teaching you all of that. Now, somebody here, Rumen, says, Dear Anastasia, please encourage Rumen to make these seminars in Bulgaria also online live. Um, well,
Yeah, this is possible. I will see how I can do this. Yeah, this is quite possible.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's,
here you see I have get rid of all two
oh yeah,
dimensional things.
yes.
Uh, and so you can see this is tropical chart.
This is your chart still?
My
Yeah,
chart tropical,
right. Yes, yes, yes.
and I got rid of all features of the two dimensional chart, but you can start building up slowly. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, Mars, this is the projection where is Mars. But if I want to see where is the real Mars, I can click here, planets to D, and I see where are the planets. Here are the projection, and here are the planets.
Uh-huh.
So I can put also slowly, I can put the zodiac, I can put the stars, I can put the horizon, I can put the meridian, and I can switch to Babylonian fixed.
Yeah.
So
That's fantastic.
yeah,
It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. You reconstruct like you can reconstruct your whole chart right from baseline. Just watch everything, you know, become the sky on the screen, as it were, whether you doesn't matter which zodiac you want to work with, Babylonian or tropical. I think it's important to look at both and to understand both personally, but everybody just can do what they want to do. But the point is that there's no other software that I know of anyway, or program that has this ability, to strip everything back and just go layer by layer, putting it back in. I just love what you just explained before when you were just talking about the projection of the planets versus where they actually are. I love that. You never hear anybody saying that. Well, I don't. I don't know. I mean, it's just, when we just a lot of people they're not taught to think like that. People are just used to looking at, this chart on the screen and those things do not even occur, those thoughts, those ideas, those facts, right? Um, Fresh life. We're switching between systems. We're looking at primarily we're working with Babylonian, but Rumen has demonstrated some examples with, if you switch the chart over into tropical and so forth. Just to answer your question. Okay, Rumen, is there anything else? Because I need to wrap it up because yeah, I'm just feeling a little
yeah,
bit
yeah. Okay. Well, there are a lot of more
I
things
know, I
in
know,
the new version.
I
For
know.
example, this here is the the heliacal path of Mars, like an evening star, like a morning star. It's here, and
What's
both
OP? What's
huh?
OP? OP.
Op opposition.
Ah, okay. And what's the opposition here? What's happening? Why has it got?
Well, Mars is in opposition to the Sun. You see here. Okay, wait a minute. I can.
So is this hang on, is this transiting Mars?
Yeah, this is the heliacal path of Mars
Yeah.
for for the current time. Well, actually, this here is January. I must go to now. So yeah,
Okay. Yep, that's why I was trying to understand.
right now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cancer.
he's yeah, somewhere like evening star, I believe. Yeah, he's well, actually, if I put here morning star, let's see, morning star, evening star. He's evening star right here, and now he must go to evening station,
Ah.
to evening station, then to cosmic set, then to opposition.
Okay, what's cosmic set?
Oh well, yeah. This is another. Well, actually, wait a minute. What is? Uh, actually, he no no he. Wait a minute. I this is evening star. Yes, he just went through this actually. This was in the past. Like if I go, let's see, if I go back in time, let's go, well, 1 month back, another month back. So the position,
We're talking about Sun Mars opposition. Yes.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
now he's still morning star. AR is acronychal rise. So he was in acronychal rise around the 7th of yeah, the 6th of January 2025.
Mhm.
And then he moves, then he goes to a position. Boom, which is the 16th of January 2025. You see, acronychal rise is like when the sun sets and the sky becomes darker,
Mhm.
and then you see Mars just over the eastern horizon.
Mhm.
Acro nihil, a rise. This means a rise of Mars in the beginning, acro, of the night, nihil,
Mm.
Greek.
Yes, Nectar. Yes.
So, and
Mm.
cosmic set is like a little bit before the sunrise when you see Mars very, very close to the western horizon.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, in my book, The Babylonian Astrolabe,
Mm.
there is one section about the heliacal phases where I explain
Right.
this acronychal rise and cosmic set.
Yeah.
These are another heliacal phases which occur for Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn only.
Only those. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Venus and Mercury then they cannot go in a position,
Yes.
with the sun.
Yes.
And what is important here is that this period between acronychal rise and cosmic set, which is around the opposition, is a very, very high energy, which is like fluctuating energy, um,
Mm.
a little bit of like energy which is
Craziness.
turbulent
Turbulent.
energy,
Yeah.
turbulent
Yeah.
energy.
Yes, I felt it, that's for sure. I know a lot of people did. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, that's yeah. Basically, you can make all this for all planets and the moon. I'm still working on what it will be the moon, but the moon orbit will be important here, and we will talk about this later probably.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. I mean, yes,
yeah,
we can do a part two for sure, Rumen, and go into, a little bit more into the things that we just did the last 10, 15 minutes because we didn't go into it, uh, in great length. So I think we need to do a part two. Hopefully you'll have the time before, well, it's only the 2nd of May, so hopefully you'll have some time before your seminars in July so that we can sit one more time together and you can show some
mhm.
other things, if that works for you, let me know, obviously. I think that would be great.
Yeah, okay, okay, good. All right.
Wow. Yeah, wow. You are amazing. I don't know how you do this stuff. I don't know. Yeah, thank you. Very inspired and very grateful. Can't wait for it to be complete. I just want to, I mean, of course I want to learn about all of them, but I want to just go, me, I want to go straight to Venus. Boom, boom, boom. Just play with that Venus section. That'll be incredible, incredible. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you for all of you who jumped online. I think we kind of got to most people's comments and questions. If you have any questions about the program or the seminar in July in Bulgaria, Varna, with Rumen Kolev, just email him directly. I'll have all his information in underneath this video, this live stream. Can ask him any questions you like. He has books, as I said, he has books, webinars, readings of astronomical software programs, Placidus 7. This is what we were just going through. This is the new version that's coming out. Just brilliant. So yes, thank you to all of you who jumped online and all of you who listened to this on the replay. Reach out to me if you want to speak to me for anything, readings or otherwise, or Rumen's details will be underneath this video as well. Rumen, thank you very much for your time. It's a lovely, beautiful spring afternoon for you, and it is a late heading to a late night autumn evening for me. So I'm going to thank you very, very much for your time. And we're going to say goodnight to our audience. And we're going to come back with a part two, hopefully.
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. We will see you guys soon. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, and see you soon. Okay, now I need to.